Okay, I'm live. This shit's fucking stupid. Like, oh, you gotta tell us if it's made for kids. Why the fuck are kids on a political channel on YouTube? And I hit no several times. So tonight we tried to file for my girlfriend's taxes. And this is the first time we filed taxes since the GOP tax scam in 2017. And it was not as simple as 1, 2, 3, and I'm sure a lot of you guys know this. I've talked to truckers that are friends of mine and other people. It wasn't fucking 1, 2, 3 taxes are easy, all that shit that they lied about. It literally, I used to file my taxes through TurboTax, and I would take a picture of my W-2, and it would have all the information pop up. You verified it, and then it would ask you if you donated anything to charity or any other deductions or anything else, and you would just hit, yeah, I donated this amount to charity, or no, I didn't, and you just hit okay, 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 and within 20 minutes you filed your tax return, and then it would directly deposit it into your bank account, take a couple weeks to verify and go through. 2 hours. 2 hours, and I'm sure y'all have dealt with this last year and this year. 2 hours to file a tax return for a fucking $2,200 check that my girlfriend earned last year was $2,200. All right, 2,200 bucks. Took 2 hours, and then we get to everything done, and it says, all right, your tax return and your state taxes and all that, you're gonna get 1,100 and something bucks back in your taxes. And we were like, cool, all right, let's hit complete. Well, then it turned her W-2 into a 1099, saying that her company, which we suspect, I'm guessing, is owned by a Republican because of this. The only reason we suspect that is because of what happened. And her W-2, her return is literally on a W-2, turned into online with the numbers into a 1099, saying that she's an independent contractor. So then we had to redo everything, and then it was still the same thing. You're gonna get 1,100 bucks back, and then as we start finishing it up, it went from 1,100, and it was like, with this fee and with this, you get $765. $500 less than what she's supposed to get. It literally, the whole time, you're gonna get X amount back combined with your state taxes, your federal taxes. You're gonna get 765 bucks back. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, for an hour, we've been filling this shit out. It says you're gonna get 1,100 back, and then now all of a sudden you're gonna get 765 back, and it literally states the reasons, and it's because of the GOP tax scam, and we're fucking pissed, like pissed. It's bullshit, and I make okay money. I found my own thing. I do my own taxes. She had her own job, and she started working in November last year, and she gets her W-2, and then it becomes a 1099 somehow online as her company. It's like they're faking it, saying, okay, you got a W-2, but you got to file as a 1099, and then fucking it goes from 1,100 to 765, and literally starts quoting shit from the GOP tax scam. This bullshit. Like, we are not the richest Americans. We are fucking working class people, and you're taking $500 out of the tax return to give it to corporations. And that's the other thing that pisses me off. We gave trillions of dollars in they're permanent tax cuts to the wealthiest Americans, permanent, and permanent fucking tax cuts to the corporations. And Republicans, and this is why I left the Republican Party, and I don't like Democrats, and this is why I'm a Democratic conservative, because I'm conservative, I'm Democrat. And I don't believe in gun bans, but I believe we should all have health care. And I believe in protecting our borders. I don't believe in a wall. A wall is stupid, and fucking here we are filing taxes, and bam, oh, well, you're 1,100 under the GOP tax scam turns into 765. Yay! Woo! Like $500 to working class people is a lot of money. That's a week's worth of fucking bills. And this is bullshit. I'm fucking furious. And this doesn't even include the other shit that I'm mad about with the government right now. But we gave trillions of dollars in permanent tax cuts. Permanent. Like forever until that law is changed to companies that make billions of dollars in profit. And then for 3 years, Republicans brag. They brag about the money. Oh, we have record profits and companies are doing so well and they're fucking making so much money. Woo! They fucking brag about it. And then the stock market crashes. Well, you know what? They are still up from where the stock market was in 2008 to 2020. They're still up over 80% when they sold, over 80% profit. But that wasn't good enough. That wasn't good enough to have 80% profit or 90% profit. They had to have 110% or 111% or 120%. So we had to bail them out because that was not enough money with the permanent tax cuts and trillions of dollars and the stock market crash, which that means they sold their stocks and locked in profits. That's what that is. That's like I trade cryptocurrency. So that's like when people sold Bitcoin at 19,000. They were locking in profits, selling it to dummies. And as Republicans and the GOP were telling people to buy, behind the scenes, they're telling their investors and their shareholders, there's a coronavirus, this is a pandemic, it's about to get bad, sell. But on the same time, Larry Kudlow's on TV saying everything's all fine and dandy, keep on buying. He did the same thing in 2007. 2007, before the 2008 crash, everything's good to go. Keep on buying, taking out loans, take out a mortgage, fucking do all that shit. And people lost all their money. They just did it again, and people lost all their money. And then now a lot of us are stuck at home, and including my girl who's laid off, a lot of us are stuck at home. And instead of bailing us out and doing what Democrats wanted, which was two $2,000 checks or two $2,500 checks because they know how much bills really are, Republicans wanted to give us one $600 check. All right. And then they got that up to $1,000. And then eventually Democrats and Republicans came to an agreement of one $1,200 check, with Democrats literally saying this is not enough and we're gonna have to come back later. And Republicans are cheering and clapping, and Lindsey Graham, fucking McCarthy, McConnell, and Trump said we shouldn't get a single penny. That all money should go to the corporations into the stock market to help them. And keep in mind, we've already dumped 1 trillion in the stock market, and it went boop right down. We dumped it in, and it went boop and fucking did nothing. Went right down. This is bullshit. Like, and we can't afford college. We can't afford $50 billion in college for everyone. Like every year for every American to go to college if they want is $55 billion. We can't afford that, but we can dump fucking $1 trillion in the stock market for it to go up for an hour and crash right back down. And then we just gave $4 trillion in bailout money to corporations who literally got trillions in permanent tax cuts, who then made trillions in profit and sold off their stocks, who then just got trillions in bailouts. This is ridiculous. And this is why I left the Republican Party, because they don't give a fuck about people like us. They care about Wall Street, and they care about how much money they're getting put in their pockets and what those big donors are paying them to do. And this is fucking crazy. And then they complain at the same time saying we can't afford health care and we can't afford to give people health care. We can't afford infrastructure. We can't afford fucking anything. But then they upgrade the fucking military budget. And yes, we need a military, but 1 trillion a year in a budget? Come the fuck on. Who's gonna fuck with us? And here's the thing: is we have everything, and then by cutting the budget doesn't mean you're getting rid of soldiers, and meaning you're getting rid of active duty or anything. You're just cutting the budget. That's just less fucking training for fucking certain areas. Not saying like infantry or anything. But there's certain things that we don't need training on and spending trillions of dollars, and it's just dumb. This is stupid, and this is why we're gonna be Rome. We're going to be the next Rome where we go bankrupt, our fucking money collapses, we go broke. That's where we're heading. That is America. Get prepared. Get prepared to fucking be broke as fuck. Like this is just the beginning. This ain't a one time thing. Get prepared because our government's fucking us over again. They're bailing out the corporations again, and thank God. And like I don't like Democrats, so when I praise them for things, it's because they did the right thing. And when I praise Republicans for things, so like when Republicans protect guns, I'm all for it, and I will praise them. And when Democrats are protecting our money, saying we need oversight of where the bailouts go, I'm going to praise them. And I'm sorry. We need to learn from our mistakes and quit putting our heads in the sand and saying that's not going to happen again. 2000 How do you not remember 2008 people? Like for us that are adults. I was 18. I was 17, 18 at the time. And our economy collapsed. George two Republican remember this, two Republican administrations in a row collapsed our economy. Two in a row allowed corporations to run wild. They gave tax cuts to the rich and to corporations, saying that it will trickle down. And George W. Bush is literally on TV saying, and all the money's gonna trickle down and fucking this is all recorded. And we have a collapsed economy both times. We have record deficits both times. And then we have record amount in bailouts both times. It was a record during George W. Bush, and now it's a new record during Trump. And we just give that money to these people. And thank God the Democrats remember because they don't have dementia. They're not all fucking 60, 70-year-old white men. And they were like, well, we did that in 2008. And they promised that that they wouldn't fire everyone. And they fired and laid off everyone anyway. And then gave themselves tens of millions of dollars or hundreds of millions, and some people gave themselves $1 billion bonuses. Like, oh, you gave us a $20 billion bailout? Cool. Well, I get $1 billion. Hey, Joe, you get 100 million. You get 100 million. You get 25 fucking, million. You get 200 million. That's what they did. And people killed themselves. People killed themselves. They literally died. They shot themselves in the head. They fucking hung themselves. They ramped their cars off bridges. Whatever they did, they killed themselves because they lost their job. They lost everything. They lost their houses. They lost their cars. They lost everything. And then who got bailed out? The richest Americans. And here we are in 2020 doing the same shit 12 years later, bailing out the rich that we just bragged about. For 3 years, bragged about. We got record profits, stock market way up, fucking the economy, woo! And then fucking, oh, whoa, everything failed. Everything crashed. The tax cuts obviously didn't pay for themselves. So here's a couple $1 trillion for you, and you guys can figure it out. And the American people get 250 billion. 250 billion to split. We all get a $1,200 check that filed taxes last year. Shut the fuck up. You dumb ass motherfuckers. Talking about socialism and fucking all you Trump supporters need to send that check in to the homeless. You need to give it away. And then this is what's pissing me off is that we got these fucking Trump supporters saying, "Oh, well, Trump signed them checks and Trump made it." So you people who have been supporting a social safety net for years need to give your check away because Trump signed it because he's not your president. No, that's not how this works out. No, we support. I'm a Democratic conservative. I support a social safety net. All right. I support business and I support small business. So we want to bail out the small businesses. I'm all for it. But if we're gonna bail out people like Amazon and Walmart and fucking shit like that, Exxon Mobil and all these companies who are making billions of dollars and bragging about their record profits, no, they don't need money. Do you think they were hurting because they only locked in 76% profit or 85% profit over 10 years? They're not hurting. They're not struggling. This is fucking crazy shit. This is stupid. This is why other countries look at us and fucking laugh. Like other modern countries. It's dumb. And the people need the money. We haven't raised minimum wage in over 10 years. 2009 was the last time we raised minimum wage. It's 2020. It's been 11 years. All right. Rent has gone up in a lot of cities over 100%. Food has gone up in a lot of cities over 30%. This is crazy. We're going to become a third world country, and as the medium gap from uh middle class Americans keep shrinking and the poor keep getting really poor, we're literally going to have two classes of just poor people and super wealthy. And that's what's going to be happening here in the next 50 years if this stays on this road. Just look at the past 50 years. It's just like reading charts. Like, and it's funny because I'm over here looking at my chart. When you're reading charts, you look at the past to predict the future. It's the same thing with the economy and the same thing with politics. You look at the past, and if you don't fix what people did in the past, you repeat it to the future. And here we are. We have a crash economy. We're in a recession. We have a crash stock market. And instead of helping the people, we're helping the corporations. And then Trump said when he signed that bill to help bail us out for that one-time $1,200 check, which is supposedly be a cocksucking moment we should all get on our knees and fucking suck that dick. They're literally fucking bragging still about the profits. There was a billionaire. I can't remember his name. I'll have to look it up, and I'll post a picture and I'll figure this shit out. There's a billionaire who bragged about making $2.67 billion, or pretty much 3 billion bucks, 2.5 to $3 billion, bragging how he made almost 3 billion and how he's getting a bailout. Bragging. Like, woo, I'm getting a bailout. This is fucking bullshit. All right. We, instead of giving 4 trillion to the fucking rich and to these corporations, we should have gave, $1 trillion to Americans. Not 4 trillion. We don't need to give 4 trillion away. But we could have did 1 trillion to Americans and gave everybody like a $4,000 check to get through this madness. And this is the problem with these people. They don't understand that the more money that you and me have, the more money that we spend. All right. They get money, they hoard it. And the money that they do spend, they don't spend it at like Applebee's or a local restaurant or something like that. They spend it at places that other rich people own and other rich people spend. Like when you buy a Ferrari, that money doesn't go to like a fucking mom and pop shop or anything or a dealership. That goes to Ferrari and the people who made Ferrari, and those developers and makers of Ferrari get paid a lot, and that's why Ferrari makes a lot of money, like those workers. So we're stuck in this class warfare, and it's not even it should be actual war, like war to get these rich people to suck it the fuck up and pay us. And there are good rich people out there. Like there are people who are saying, I'm a fucking multimillionaire or I'm a billionaire and I don't need tax breaks. I don't understand why I'm getting a tax break. It makes no sense. But then you got greedy fuckers like Trump and others who are like, I need all the money I can get because it's going to help the economy. That's not true. If we handed every American citizen right now $50,000, what do you think they're gonna do with it? Do you think they're gonna put it up and invest that money and like make interest and make profits and just hoard that and eventually become a billionaire and not work? No. If we handed every American right now 50,000, they would fucking spend it. They would go out and they would pay off their debt. They would pay off their fucking loans. They would pay off shit. They would go out and eat dinners. They'd be balling. They would think that they were balling for a little bit and they would spend it. If we handed every American 50K, they would put it right back in the economy. Not everyone. There would be people that like me who would take 50K and put 10,000 into something and invest it, or 5,000 and then spend the rest. But I would say 98% of the people would spend that money within the next 3 to 4 months. They would just blow it. They would buy a new car. They would pay off their debt, get out of debt. They would try to buy a house. They would pay months worth of rent. They would spend that money, which stimulates the economy, which makes everything better for everyone, including the rich and the corporations. And that's what boggles my mind, is that if people have more money, they can spend more money, and those people that are so stuck up on getting profits will make more profit. You don't need to get a check to put in your pocket to make profit. You just need to sell the product and people need to be able to buy it. That's how simple it is. People need to have the money to buy what you're selling, and if people don't have the money, then they're not going to be able to buy it, and they're going to it's dumb. Just give people the money. Give people higher wages. Give people the bailout. If we split the $4 trillion in bailout and gave it to the American people, what do you think would happen? You think they're all going to hoard it and just not work ever again? No. There's going to be some. That's going to be with anything. But the majority of people are going to spend that money. They're going to go buy a new car. They're going to put a down payment on a house. They're going to pay off their mortgage. They're going to pay off their debt, their car loan. They're going to pay for something. They're going to spend it. I've done it myself where I got money and I spent it. I spent a lot of it. I invested money. I'm still investing money. I lost a lot of it and I spent a lot of it because I fucked up. You know why? Because I was broke my whole life and I got a shit ton of money and then I spent it. That's what happens. And we're doing it ass backwards. We're going, here you go, fucking Mr. Billionaire. Here's a fucking bailout check for you. Spend that money and stimulate the economy. And they're going, I already got all the money in the world. Why would I spend it and stimulate the economy? I'm just going to fucking buy stocks back or give myself a wage or put it in my pocket. It's stupid. We need to fucking start giving the people the money. And I guarantee you, if we start giving people more money, and giving people higher wages, and instead of bailing out the banks and corporations, people are going to spend more money. They don't even need bailed out. If we give that money that's supposed to be for a bailout for the corporations to the people, they're going to spend that money and the corporations get it right back either way. Like, it literally, here's the people money, it goes right back to the corporations, and then they can do what they want and then give it back to the people. It could be a cycle. Instead, we're just like corporations, company, corporations, company. They need it. It's fucking stupid, y'all. Wake the fuck up.